Our Lady of Mount Carmel is a revered title of the Blessed Virgin Mary, deeply intertwined with the history and spirituality of the Carmelite order. More than just a name, it represents a profound spiritual relationship between Mary, the Carmelites, and millions of Catholics worldwide, characterized by devotion, protection, and a call to live a life of prayer and contemplation. The story of Our Lady of Mount Carmel begins not with Mary herself, but with a group of hermits living on Mount Carmel in the Holy Land during the late 12th and early 13th centuries. This mountain, located in present-day Israel, holds significant biblical importance. It is notably the site where the prophet Elijah famously challenged the prophets of Baal, demonstrating the power of the one true God, 1 Kings 18. Inspired by the ascetic life of Elijah, these early hermits sought to live a life of prayer, solitude, and contemplation. They established themselves near the traditional Spring of Elijah and, in the midst of their hermitages, built a chapel. This chapel was dedicated to the Blessed Virgin Mary, whom they saw as the Lady of the place and their patroness. Thus, the foundation of the Carmelite order was laid, with a deep spiritual connection to both the prophet Elijah and the Blessed Mother. The initial Carmelite way of life was that of hermits, focused on individual prayer and manual labor. However, as the political climate in the Holy Land became increasingly unstable due to the incursions of the Saracens, the Carmelites were forced to migrate to Europe around the mid-13th century. This move necessitated an adaptation of their rule of life. From their contemplative, eremitical roots, they evolved into a mendicant order, similar to the Dominicans and Franciscans, engaging more directly in apostolic work and establishing communities throughout Europe. Despite this shift, their core spiritual identity, centered on contemplation and devotion to Mary, remained. The Carmelite order later underwent significant reforms in the 16th century, most notably by the Spanish mystics Saint Teresa of Avila and Saint John of the Cross. These reforms led to the establishment of the Discalced Carmelites, meaning shoeless, signifying their stricter observance, who sought to return to a more austere and contemplative form of life, emphasizing mental prayer and interiority. Today, there are two main branches of the Carmelite family: the Order of Carmelites, O Carm, and the Order of Discalced Carmelites, OCD. The most well-known aspect of Our Lady of Mount Carmel devotion, particularly among the laity, is the brown scapular. According to tradition, in 1251, the Blessed Virgin Mary appeared to Saint Simon Stock, the then Prior General of the Carmelite Order, in Aylesford, England. During this apparition, she presented him with the brown scapular, a small garment of brown wool, and made a promise: "Receive, my beloved son, this scapular of thy order. It is the special sign of my favor, which I have obtained for thee and for thy children of Mount Carmel. Whosoever dies clothed in this habit shall be preserved from eternal fire. It is a badge of salvation, a shield in time of danger, and a pledge of special peace and protection." This promise, though interpreted with nuance by the Church, it is not a magical charm or an automatic guarantee of salvation without a life of faith, profoundly impacted the devotion to Our Lady of Mount Carmel. The brown scapular became a widely popular sacramental, symbolizing belonging to Mary and the Carmelite family. Wearing the scapular signifies a spiritual affiliation with the Carmelite order and a dedication to Mary. Mary's maternal protection. It is a visible sign of trusting in Mary's intercession and protection, both in this life and at the hour of death. A call to imitate Mary. The scapular encourages wearers to live a life of prayer, virtue, and fidelity to God, following Mary's example as the perfect disciple of Christ. The Sabbatine privilege. An additional tradition, though not officially defined dogma, suggests that Mary will intercede to release souls from purgatory on the first Saturday after their death for those who faithfully wear the scapular and fulfill certain conditions: chastity according to one's state in life, and recitation of the Little Office of Our Lady or other specified prayers. To receive the spiritual benefits of the brown scapular, individuals are typically enrolled in the scapular confraternity by a priest. It is meant to be worn devoutly as a continuous prayer and a commitment to Christian living, not as a superstitious good luck charm. The liturgical feast of Our Lady of Mount Carmel is celebrated annually on July 16th. This date is significant as it marks the traditional anniversary of the apparition of the brown scapular to Saint Simon Stock. The feast day is a time for Carmelites and devotees worldwide to express their gratitude to Mary for her patronage and protection. Traditions associated with the feast often include Mass and liturgical celebrations. Special Masses are held, often with a focus on Marian hymns and prayers. Scapular enrollment and blessing. Many parishes offer opportunities for the faithful to be enrolled in the brown scapular or have their existing scapulars blessed. Processions. In many places, particularly in countries with strong Catholic traditions, such as Spain, Italy, and Latin American nations, elaborate processions take place. Statues of Our Lady of Mount Carmel are carried through the streets, adorned with flowers and accompanied by music, prayers, and often traditional folk dances. Novenas and prayer. The feast is often preceded by a 9-day novena of prayers and preparation, deepening the spiritual focus. Community gatherings, festivals, communal meals, and other social events often accompany the religious observances, fostering a sense of community and shared devotion. Today, Our Lady of Mount Carmel remains a powerful and beloved figure for millions. She is invoked as the patroness of the Carmelite order, as well as several countries, like Chile and Bolivia, for protection from danger and for deliverance from purgatory. The devotion to Our Lady of Mount Carmel continues to inspire a rich spiritual life, emphasizing contemplation and inner life. Following the Carmelite tradition, she encourages a deep, prayerful relationship with God. Trust in Mary's intercession. Believers turn to her as a loving mother who intercedes for them with her Son, Jesus Christ. Living a virtuous life. The scapular serves as a constant reminder to live according to Christian principles and to imitate Mary's humility, purity, and obedience to God's will. In an increasingly complex world, the timeless message of Our Lady of Mount Carmel offers a path to spiritual peace and a powerful connection to the maternal care of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Her enduring legacy, from the ancient slopes of Mount Carmel to the daily lives of countless faithful, continues to point humanity towards Christ.